Rather lads, welcome back to the Cossy Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to brand new video. This is the latest Arsenal news and transfer news as well. It's a lot going on at Arsenal right now. We have offered Jorginho a new deal at the club to extend by 1 year, and that means that the future of Thomas Partey for me has now been decided. Thomas Partey will be the one leaving Arsenal this summer. It's now written in the stars. It is now set in stone. Partey to leave, Jorginho to stay. I want your thoughts in the comment box below. Is it the right decision? For me, if you asked me, I would want Arsenal to sign 2 players in that position and get rid of Partey and Jorginho. But obviously, that is not going to happen. Arsenal are always going to keep one and lose one. So Partey out of the door, Jorginho to stay. Thoughts in the comment box below. We are also going to be talking about the new kits, Arsenal's leaked kits for home and away. They really look nice this time around. I will be getting myself both the home kit and the away kit. We're going to be talking about those as well, and obviously we'll be talking about Youssouf Fofana. Fabrizio Romano says that Arsenal are really interested in Youssouf Fofana now that we have a midfield deficit, but nothing is concrete. Nothing has happened yet. Arsenal have not offered a contract to Youssouf Fofana, and obviously talks are not yet underway. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. Let me know what you think about the top stories, especially Jorginho to stay, Partey to leave this summer. And of course, is Bruno Guimaraez the guy you would bring in to replace Thomas Partey in the summer? Right, let's start off with the big news about the kit, because this is going to be our home kit as per the rumored designs. This is going to be our home kit next season. You can see a bit of blue in the Adidas stripes. You can see that white outside, and of course the red in the middle. I don't have a problem with this kit. I really don't have a problem with a home kit. If this is going to be our kit 2024 2025, I really don't have a problem with it. I kind of feel like Jorginho will look smart, by the way. I don't know why it's Jorginho who comes to my mind when I look at that kit, but I kind of feel like he will be very smart in this kit. But it's a beautiful kit. It's not, it kind of reminds me of the kit that we had, and this is a little bit, nostalgic, but it reminds me of the kit that we had in the 2023 campaign. I think that was last campaign, but one. No, not really. It's the 2021-2022 kit, right? Yeah, 2021-2022 kit, home kit. It reminds me of that kit, just that this one has a lot of blue in it. Now the away kit, which is even more beautiful, if you want to call it that. In my opinion, William Saliba looked absolutely fantastic in it. So you can see it's gonna be a bit of black with that kind of I don't know how we call it, silver in terms of the whites, a little bit of silver in the design. There's that red cannon and the green Adidas and some green stripes as well on the black. Now, again, this is more of a recreation of the away kit 2021-2022 when we had an all black with some kind of gold, and I really need to get myself that kit because I didn't get it. But yeah, the kits don't really look that bad. I would be able to go to the market and proudly say, I'm an Arsenal fan, please can I get my kit home and away? So of course, if there are any changes about the kits, I will let you know, but those are rumored to be the upcoming kits for the upcoming season. Let's get into the big talk on the transfer stage, where we have a confirmation that Jorginho has been offered a new deal at Arsenal, and that has put Thomas Partey's future a little bit clearer, and also it's now written in the stats that Partey is going to be leaving Arsenal. Jorginho's contract runs down in 2020, this season actually, at the end, but of course the new deal with improved terms will run down in 2025 in the summer. Now, for me, this is a wise decision by Arsenal. It is not easy to replace El Neni, Jorginho, and Partey at the same time. I mean, that is massive experience there. That is massive pedigree, and that is a lot, a lot of work to do if you're going to replace the three of them. Now, I don't think Arsenal are going to replace them like for like. I think with a player like Mohamed El Neni, we will not sign anyone to replace Mohamed Elneny. Honestly, you don't need anyone to replace Mohamed Elneny. The presence of a Declan Rice, someone who can play as an 8 and as a 6 as well, means that you have two places and two positions covered in the squad. So with Mohamed Elneny, I think he will leave, but Arsenal will not get a replacement. So it's about Jorginho and Thomas Partey, and the debate was who stays, who leaves. And I told you this, that I don't think Arsenal are going to keep both of them. There was no way we were going to keep Partey and we're going to keep Jorginho. It would have been a suicide mission and an internal act of destruction, self-destruction. So Arsenal have decided that we will not wait for internal destruction. We will not wait for an implosion. We are going to take action. And the action that has been taken is that Jorginho will sign a new deal at the club, and there is no talk of Partey signing a new deal. So Partey is going to be leaving this football club. With Jorginho, it's a reward. He's been absolutely phenomenal for us this season. He has been up to standards, and I think Mikel Arteta is proud of himself, but also proud of the signing of Jorginho. He came in January in 2023, I think, last year in January, and he did a tremendous job for us this campaign. He's had a very, very fantastic season. So Arsenal trusting to keep him, for me, that is the right decision. I wouldn't keep him, and I'm going to give you my reasons. I wouldn't keep Jorginho, and I wouldn't keep Thomas Partey as well. But I understand why we have decided to keep Jorginho, and why we have chosen Jorginho over Partey. So I'll tell you, we have decided to keep Jorginho because of the pedigree, of the experience, but also whoever is going to come into that new role, you don't know how they're going to perform. So you just can't clear out Jorginho, Partey, and Elneny. So you want someone who is going to mold the new defensive midfielder into that role. And I think Jorginho is the best player in Europe. If you want someone to guide a new defensive midfielder into that number 6 role, it's Jorginho. We want someone just like Jorginho. And I'm not surprised that Arsenal looking at Douglas Luiz. I'm not surprised that Arsenal looking at Bruno Guimaraez. I'm not surprised that Arsenal looking at Martin Zubimendi. Because when you look at all those players, apart from the fact that they're young, which is a constant across their profiles, they are also ball-playing defensive midfielders. We are not talking about a Claudio Macalera here. We're not talking about I don't know, these rigid defensive midfielders. We are actually talking Sergio Busquets-esque. We are talking about Jorginho-esque. We are talking about defensive midfielders that are happy to get on the ball and dictate play and make things happen and even create chances from deep. So for Jorginho, why he has stayed, I understand. And again, why Arsenal have chosen Jorginho over Thomas Partey, it's a no-brainer. Like, it's really a no-brainer. And anyone who wants to tell me, well, Cossy, we have chosen Jorginho, but we should have stayed with Partey. No. Partey is the better defensive midfielder. Partey, for me, is the better player to keep. But when you factor into all the factors, right? Injuries, consistency, all that kind of stuff, then Jorginho is the one that's supposed to stay and Partey is supposed to leave, right? It's a no-brainer. Partey cannot stay fit. And I know Arsenal fans are really geared up and are really gassed about the fact that Partey has had a good 2 games. Imagine a good 2 games against Chelsea and against Tottenham. Yes, he's had very, very good games. But let's be honest. 2 good games out of 35 games played in the whole season. That's unacceptable. If you're not reliable, there is no way you're going to be a useful resource to the team. So Partey's injury record, and I think he knows this, and the team should have communicated by now that we are not going to keep you, not because you're not good enough, but because we cannot trust you. It's the same thing that's happening with Gabriel Jesus. Gabriel Jesus, Arsenal put him on the market despite having a contract running down in 2027, right? So that means that Arsenal realize Jesus and Partey, quality players, key cogs in the machine, but they cannot stay fit. So you've got to get rid of them and replace them because their role in this team is vital. With Jesus, it's the squad depth, it is the quality on the ball, it's the top level striker. position that he's occupying at the club. So if he cannot stay fit, if he cannot give you the performances that you need, then he can't give you the squad depth. Number one, he can't give you the top level performances, and he can't be your top level striker. So then you've got to replace him. It's the same thing with Partey. I would love to see Partey stay. I don't see how he stays. I really don't see how Partey stays. I really don't think Partey is going to be here next season. It's over. It's over. It's set in stone. It's written in the stars. And you remember last summer, we had a big discussion on whether Partey was going to stay at Arsenal or he was going to go. And Mikel came out and said, Partey has told me he wants to stay. And we trusted that he's going to stay. And we trusted that he will be fit. And we trusted that this is going to be the season where Partey, Rice, and Odegaard play together in the same midfield. That has not worked out at all. Really at all. To an extent that Partey has started less than 10 games for Arsenal in all competitions this campaign. I could be right, I could be wrong. Right? But the manager didn't trust him against Bayern. That is a game where you had Lima and Goretzka in midfield. And Kimmich. Right? That's a game where you needed Rice, Partey, and Odegaard. Didn't trust him in that game. So it shows that manager doesn't trust him that much anymore. Number one, especially in terms of being fit to play against the quality oppositions. So I think for me, he's got to go. It's as simple as that. He's got to go. So let's talk about replacements, because Arsenal are not sure that they will get to sign Martin Zubimendi, who is undecided about his future. Obviously, Martin Zubimendi, as far as my understanding, is on top of the list of Arsenal's midfield transfer wish list, and also Bayern's transfer wish list. So it's two clubs that are really interested in him. And it's going to be intriguing where he goes, because he loves Real Sociedad. He loves Spain. He's one of the players that I thought would go to an FC Barcelona. But I think with Barca, it is the money. They don't have the money. They cannot afford him. As far as my sources are concerned, Barcelona are in talks to sign Guido Rodriguez from Real Betis on a free transfer. And that sums up the transfer, the financial situation at Barcelona and the transfer plans of FC Barca. So it's now between two clubs, in my opinion. Arsenal and Bayern for Martin Zubimendi. Bayern are a little bit afraid that they could lose this race to Arsenal. Obviously, Arsenal are not sure if Martin Zubimendi even really wants to leave Real Sociedad. He's one of those guys that, he reminds me of Mark Noble. And I'm not saying he's Mark Noble, right, in terms of loyalty. But I'm saying he reminds me of Mark Noble. He's one of those players that could be wanting to stay at his parent club for a very long period of time. And for me, if he gets a chance to stay and renew at Real Sociedad, he will stay there, right? In one of his latest comments, he just came out and said, I don't know, I would love to stay at Real Sociedad, but at some point in time, Real Sociedad might not want me to continue here. So it shows that the player really wants to continue at Real Sociedad, doesn't have any plans of leaving the club unless the club decide to sell him, and unless the club decide to say, we are selling you, you've got to go. So in the end, I think this is what is going to happen. Arsenal will not sign Martin Zubimendi. I think Mikel Arteta wants a player who is 100% sure, 100% ready to take that next step, because moving from Real Sociedad in Spain to Arsenal in the Premier League, that's a big jump. The Spanish La Liga and the Premier League, there's a big jump there, and I don't care whether we have Real Madrid in the semi-finals of the UEFA Champions League, and we don't have an English club in the semi-finals. Arsenal winning the Champions League next season, I don't care what people say. For you to go from a Real Sociedad that has had one good season in 10 years or in 5 years, to go to an Arsenal side that is challenging for the title last year, this year, and next year, that's a big jump. You've got to be committed, you've got to be sure, and you've got to be 100% sold on. I don't think Martin Zubimendi is 100% sold on. But he's still a good player, and I still want Arsenal to sign him, and I'll still do videos about Arsenal, where Arsenal should sign him. I still produce that video. But for me, the player that Arsenal should be looking at and the perfect replacement is Bruno Guimaraez, and hence the title and thumbnail of this video. Guimaraez is the player Arsenal should look at. Guimaraez is the guy that Arsenal should be considering in that position. I think he's got a little bit of physicality, like Partey, brain, like Jorginho, and that bit of nastiness, like Xhaka. So he's got those ingredients of those three players. And if he comes into a side like Arsenal in a semi-final of the UEFA Champions League, that is the kind of guy we need. Like against Bayern. I was watching Bayern against Madrid yesterday, and I'm like, Arsenal are far away from this. Arsenal are very far away from this. This is top level entertainment. Arsenal are very far away from this. And okay, we are not very far away, honestly, but we need such quality like Bruno Guimaraez. Fabrizio says that Arsenal really interested in Youssef Fofana. I think again is another player that will be going for around 30 to 40 million. Won't be surprised if Arsenal really go and get such a powerhouse, good ball winner, progresses the ball a lot. But what I don't like about him is he dribbles a lot. Really a lot. And with Declan Rice already in the team and Martin Odegaard, I don't think we should be getting another dribbler. But of course, talk to me in the comment box below what you think about Partey leaving, Jorginho staying. Who is the replacement of Partey? Guimaraez or Youssef Fofana or Douglas Luiz, by the way, at Aston Villa. And we'll be speaking in a bit. Make sure you catch me live at 10 p.m. tonight. We'll be discussing lots of Arsenal stories, obviously.